too. I feel like the stress levels are just not natural for our bodies. I think especially with social media and our phones, we have this like illusion of being so connected, but it's not real. Like
The way I see this whole align coming together is literally like a gym for the mind and the soul.
I really felt so important that like for Monday mornings, my first thing is a yoga. I get more connected with pulling a card and I do a little bit of journaling. Like we should do this Mondays. Like it's just it kept coming up as the right time because this is how it's like you're coming up with the first impression of your week. How do I build intention? How do I get grounded in maybe the big picture of my big goals?
I am super excited today to bring our special guest, Rachel Reema. Rachel, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks, Chitra. I'm delighted to be here. So excited about the launch of Align. Really excited.
Yes, me too. So before we get into all that juicy stuff, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what's the work that you've been doing, and then we'll go into more details.
Excellent. Well, I'm Rachel Reema Radzewski of Rachel Reema Living. I'm a women's empowerment coach, mindset mentor, but most specifically, and I'm here in the New Jersey area, I love to run women's circles, meditation walks. I've done some guided meditations locally around labyrinths and retreats. And a lot of the work I do is around aligning women with their purpose, their passions, and helping them to break free of distraction and certain habits that kind of get in the way. So yeah, that's a little bit of my specialty in a nutshell.
I love it. I love it. So you and I met a few years ago and we've been actually sort of retreat buddies. We've gone to a few retreats together. And so tell me a little bit about how did you get into this world of spirituality, retreats, women's circles, those kind of things?
Well, I think like most people, I mean, it's sort of like I'm the experiential person. I've been to some and the journey that brought me into that was a lot of physical health issues were going on. After both of my kids were getting a little older, I started having all of these health issues, stress, anxiety, and panic attacks that I really couldn't pinpoint. So of course you start, usually yoga is where everyone starts. And then you meet these amazing teachers and facilitators that showed me a way into reconnecting with my body, reconnecting with my mental strength and my spirit actually. And from that point, I sort of gotten into a direction of facilitating as well. I kind of came in as an assistant in one of my teacher's things, and then I went and got officially certified and decided that I'm kind of good at this. So I brought in a little more of I grew my business, Rachel Reema Living, in a space where I could connect with a community that we've started to host things locally around mostly New York and the Poconos, but also more active things in the New Jersey area as well that are direct. So yeah, I mean, I think that is kind of the story you always hear is like the person that experiences it and then usually finds sort of their magic sauce in there of what they do.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I think it's so crucial for everyone who's in this healing space to have been through this experience of healing for themselves, right? I think it makes it so much more powerful when you have been through it and you have come out of it stronger. So, we're living in a world where there's crazy amounts of stress, lots of chaos, lots of isolation. People are feeling isolated. And that's kind of what inspired me to create this new community that I'm launching. And I wanted to bring in experts such as yourself, along with others with different modalities to people so that they can access them easily, not just when we go to these retreats once or twice a year, but every single week. So I am like really, really excited that you said yes to this because I know people are going to benefit so much. But let's talk a little bit about the impact that today's chaos and stress and isolation is having on people and why it's so important to have these kind of spaces.
Yeah, clearly I do. I agree with you 100% too. I feel like the stress levels are just not natural for our bodies. I think especially with social media and our phones, we have this like illusion of being so connected, like real time with everything happening, but it's not real. Like we're really not having that benefit of even in a virtual room, like being present, being seen, being heard with each other and witnessing kind of the journey that each of us are going through. I've seen firsthand. I mean, I go to some women's circles as well. and the kind of transformation that happens. And I do one-to-one coaching, but really in the group is where I have seen kind of momentous change where women start to have a voice again, where all of
Mm,
a sudden somebody else's journey that they're witnessing reminds them of something else within themselves. So it's like being together, like really being a part of the human race, connected with everybody on similar journeys but different
yeah.
is it's the key, and I'm seeing that, like, that is the kind of missing element that a lot of people are having. Even when we go to the gym, I love to go to the gym. I love my group exercise classes, and it's like we've all been through hell in this class. It's been 55 minutes of like getting our wiggles out, and I just so wish that all the class the teacher would sit us down and like, let's talk now. Like, let's
Uh,
really be real. And that's what's and a lot of us do. We're walking out together, and all of a sudden, big topics start coming up, or little ones that we just want to share, big successes that feel like we need a witness from each other. So
yeah.
it feels like that is like a little piece that people are missing on a more regular basis.
Yeah.
Retreats are great, and you and I, went last
We
fall
love them.
out to
Yeah.
Georgia, see Elizabeth Gilbert and all of that was amazing. But it's not enough. Like I need more. I need it. I don't have to go on a whole weekend dive just to get centered, just to get sort of with a little more intention into each of my weeks, keeping aligned with what kind of life I want to lead.
Yeah, I kind of love that you use the analogy of the gym because the way I see this whole align coming together is literally like a gym for the mind and the soul. Like imagine if we only went to work out once or twice a year for a whole weekend, right? It
Exactly.
wouldn't do the same thing. But if we do it every week, even if we do 3 or 4 sessions a week, we feel that difference in the consistency and that momentum that builds. Now, by the end of the year, you've built some substantial change. So that's kind of what I'm trying to create as well is this consistent time for ourselves. Because, I think women in general, especially, tend to feel guilty for taking time out for themselves. Right. But we need to change that narrative. And so, I just feel so excited that we're going to all come together to then launch this beautiful thing into the world where people come on a consistent basis every week. Every day they have an option to come work on themselves, have some fun, sit in a circle and share. And, I think it's going to be so cathartic and so healing. And I'm just like in awe of the impact that these circles have. And you're so right about the group thing, right? Because sometimes you're not brave enough to speak and someone else in the group does. And you're like, okay, wow, that was really vulnerable. And maybe I feel a little bit more encouraged to share my truth now. And then when we speak about our traumas, our old beliefs, things that have held us back, we can then release it. And so having someone like you to then facilitate that and hold space for them, I think is just magical, right? Would you be able to share a little bit about the power of that vulnerability?
Yeah, I mean, and the other to speak to that other side too, I totally agree with you, like about the other person's sort of saying something that maybe you couldn't put words to in that moment. But I also feel like, and maybe this is a little more wooey layer for me, but like I come into circles and I feel like that person says something that almost like speaks right to me. I
Mm,
didn't realize until I got into that circle. I didn't even know what I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know was going on with me. It's like, oh my gosh, this is coming together for me now. And I think that's what the power of having people from different backgrounds, different places in their life come together
yeah.
is the real kind of journey of like I think where like organized religion was really building towards at one point. Like that was the point of community and coming together in that space. But I do think that's what some people are missing. I think the numbers on people attending religious type of groups and communities have gone so low lately.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't speak for or against any of it, but it's just a fact that
Yeah.
people are kind of disenfranchised in a lot of ways, but for whatever reason, missing this part that we still need,
It's
which
like we
is,
threw the baby out with the bathwater, right?
yeah,
We
like
lost the community when we lost
pancake
the.
breakfast. I still
Yeah.
need the
Yes. Oh my God. For sure. For sure. And, I think when I love what you said about other people in the community also kind of
yeah.
speaking up and saying things that you might need to hear, right? Because I know from an energy perspective, as an
Mhm.
energy reader, I know that when we collectively come together and hold this kind of space for each other, our collective energy goes up in the room, right? And so in that high vibing space, we are now all able to almost channel messages for each other without even knowing it.
Oh,
I see this in my group coaching all the time, and it's magical to see because then I just know as a facilitator, I'm like, okay, it's time for me to be quiet and let her explain to him what he needs to hear. And it's just all working beautifully. And it's just so powerful because it's the energy that's doing the work, right? And we're all connected and we're all bonding in that moment with each other. And it's so sacred that I don't want to touch it, right? I'm like, I don't need to interfere. Just need to watch the magic happen. And it's
well, that's a good
yeah,
facilitator. So that's
so
awesome. Yeah.
powerful. Yeah.
Hmm?
It's powerful to see it happen. It's like, oh my God, I couldn't have said it better myself. So thank you for speaking up, right? I
That's
love
right.
that. Okay. So now let's talk a little bit about the session that you're going to be doing for us, which is going to be our Monday manifesting circle. And why did you choose Monday morning? Because I'm thinking Monday morning, everybody's rushing out the door. They're like, I don't have time to sit in a circle. Like, why Monday?
So the start, I mean, the weeks we have in our life, it's a construct of our own culture and society. That it just is what it is.
Yeah.
And, as people say over the years, oh, a case of the Mondays, even on Sunday, just dreading that first day. And I have found in my own practice that the most important day of my week is Monday. Because it is a shift in energy. It's a shift of your activities from perhaps work around the house to your own private life affairs, perhaps to
Mm-hmm.
switching into where you're of service in the world and doing things outside of like your unit at home. So I really felt so important that like for Monday mornings, my first thing is a yoga. I get more connected with pulling a card and I do a little bit of journaling. And so that's why when you were talking to me about it, I'm like, we should do this Mondays. Like it kept coming up as the right time because this is how it's like you're coming up with the first impression of your week. How do I build intention? How do I get grounded and maybe the big picture of my big goals just into this one little week?
Yeah.
I need to come and be still for a moment. And that's hard because Monday is almost where we feel like impossible, but I know it works. And I've worked with people that have a very intentional Monday practice that it changes their absolute whole week around productivity, their stress levels, their family time, being present every week because they've built sort of like a design for their week.
Mm,
So
I love
those
that.
are just some of the top benefits of coming into that place. Yeah.
Yeah. So powerful. Yeah. I mean, I'm personally not a Monday person, not a morning person. So I'm excited to
Yeah.
take this on as a challenge for myself and really put intentionality behind my week because you're so right. When you put that intention behind how you want to design your week, you're no longer, chasing after or falling behind with the stress. And it's
Right.
like, I made this plan for this week. And it's not a big, huge plan where I'm vision boarding for the whole year. It's literally, how am I going to set the right intentions for this week? And you're going to help us create that practice week after week after week. So Monday mornings at 7 a.m., we will be
That's
with
the
you.
consistency part because you might come back on the second Monday and say, I didn't do anything on my list. And maybe we explore that. Maybe that's a great place to start. Like, am I do I really want this in
Yeah.
my weeks? Like there's ways to connect instead of feeling like we're falling short or not following through on our it's about kind of that reset. Like, well, either how can I tweak things to make it a little more realistic for myself each week? How do I keep my calendar with great boundaries and empower myself to go towards the things I want? Or maybe I need to start deleting a couple things out of my schedule each week, whichever's possible.
Yeah.
But it's more the long game of how are my weeks going? And then reflecting on that in this Monday manifestation circle, because this is the place where you can kind of, it's like a a status
Yeah.
check on how things are going. And I think what'll be really beautiful is that we'll come into each session with a little bit of breath or centering, something very just simple, nothing deep, nothing that's going to put you to sleep,
Right.
but enough to get clear. We'll perhaps have a theme, either the seasons or around really empowering good habits or growing and developing the habits for ourselves each week. Empowerment, boundaries, like we were just talking about. The moon cycle. Sometimes it's not going to be a big productive week. Sometimes It's more of the introspective side of the new moon. And what does that mean for me? I don't know. Be curious.
Yeah.
And then perhaps pulling a card. I don't know. Like we're gonna have, and we'll definitely have that space for everyone in the group on a line to be seen, have a moment to check in a way.
And share. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. So, it sounds like, it's almost like I feel like you're also taking away the pressure from people to have to, because we're so used to doing, we're so used to
Yeah.
checking off the boxes, right? So now, the first thing that people might think when I say Monday manifestation circle is, oh my God, now I got to get up every Monday and I have to set up this week. But you're saying it really doesn't have to be a pressure filled thing. It can just be a let's explore, let's
Yeah.
get curious, let's see how we want to do things, right? And let's get intentional. And I
Yeah.
think that is so powerful also to mention here because, sometimes just listening to one more thing to do can be overwhelming. But I
Mhm.
think we've been doing so much that we've forgotten how to be, right? And this circle is going to be an invitation for everyone to be,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, you might show up on that Monday and you're grieving something.
Yeah.
And it's more about, I'd love to kind of hear how everyone else is doing in the circle. And maybe I have the intention myself to just take care of myself this week
Yeah.
and to not let external things kind of, make it harder than it already is. Like that takes a lot of intention too, not just like the to-do list, which you can do that too.
Sure.
But however you're showing up is where you begin. And
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. It's like a check in with yourself and your energy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. I wish that this kicks off more places like that where people have such opportunities
Yeah.
because I really feel like we need it. We need it more and more. All right, awesome. So I was thinking maybe if there's a way that we can demo some of the stuff that you will be doing for us, maybe a little sample for people to, get a taste of what kind of stuff they can experience in your session.
Okay, I would love that. Would you like to be the tester?
I would love to be the
No one
tester.
else is here.
I think I will benefit tremendously from volunteering.
Okay. Then let's do something really beautiful. Let's start out and kind of call in like a card. Let's get a card pulled and see sort of the direction, and then we'll take a breath and I'll leave you with something to kind of walk away with from the session today. How does that sound? Okay.
Let's
It's
do
very
it.
vague, but we're gonna go with the flow.
No, it's beautiful. Let's do it. We'll see what the cards say.
Well, I'm going to pull out Denise Lynn's Sacred Traveler cards. They're really beautiful and they're really great for kind of starting a journey, which is what you're doing right now and starting a journey of this.
Yes.
So we'll make this a card pull for Chitra. Sort of a message from the energy of this discussion, a message from the universe, intentional steps. And whenever you're feeling the call for me to stop, just say stop.
Okay.
My shuffling.
Stop.
Well, a card jumped out of my deck.
Oh, okay.
So
Beautiful.
we're gonna go with the flow here.
I love
This
it.
one is called Unknown Territory. You are
Ooh.
exactly where you need to be.
Oh my God. I mean,
It
could it have
popped out
been
of the deck.
any more perfect? I'm
I'm gonna
launching
read
this
it.
whole new thing that doesn't exist in the world. Totally unknown territory for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I think that there's some kind of beautiful message that's gonna come in. These are very brief. So I'll give you the message of this card.
Awesome. Could you
You're
hold it up
exact
for the screen one more time? And for everyone that's listening to this episode on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you can go over to my YouTube channel as well. The link would be in the comments. Okay,
This
beautiful.
card could be for any listener. If you're listening out there right now, just take a listen. Maybe this applies to you as well. You're exactly where you need to be, even if you're not consciously aware of it. Even if you don't have all the answers, keep going forward with your heart open. If you can't see clearly ahead and don't know where you're headed, keep moving forward. Do what feels right, even if your brain doesn't agree. Your heart always knows. Instead of dismay because you're in unknown territory, celebrate that you're expanding and growing by leaps and bounds. The sacred traveler wants you to know. Sometimes the traveler feels lost, a lack of confidence, or sense of being in unknown territory. It can seem that others know more or are more qualified. However, it can be this very feeling of not knowing that allows one to step outside the bounds of convention and reach beyond the parameters of self that have been imposed by family, friends, society, religion. Can be a very good thing. It can help you find yourself. Cherish those moments of not knowing. It's often during these times that the greatest revelations occur. Trust that all is well. You are where you should be.
Wow. Oh, that is such a reassuring message for me right now.
Does that
Like I
resonate?
needed it. I needed to hear that because,
I love in this card, I mean, I love her artwork with Denise Lynn, but like it truly is. It's a white, snowy, like blank palette.
wow,
Like you
I love
can
it.
create this in any way you want to create this, whatever, is your topic. So with that card pull, something we might do in our Manifestation Monday circles is taking in a deep breath and try to take away all the thoughts of anything that you like are ruminating on or having stress about, and just imagine in your heart that if everything was taken care of and everything was a blank start and you had all the resources at your hands, how would you move forward to your next step without any obstacles? You can hold this in your heart. You don't have to answer out loud here, but if you want to, that's fine. But if you felt truly like that white snow landscape of the card was stretched out before you, and your heart and perspective started to really believe that unknown territory is actually such a positive, exciting thing,
Mm.
what would your heart take you towards in your next step?
Oh, so I closed my eyes when you were asking that, and I almost saw like just opening the door and seeing this blanket of snow, and all I could picture was just having this um like a tumbler of coffee and just inviting a lot of people that are standing out there, come inside, let's have this warm drink together. That's the visual that I saw. So, oh, so beautiful.
What, I mean, it sounds like with that open space is where you can bring people together.
Yeah. Just sharing the joy that I feel in every day, the warmth that I feel in my heart with others. Like it feels like that's what I was put down here to do, right? And that's what all of the work that I've done on myself has gotten me to a place of doing and offering.
Mhm.
And it feels so aligned with my Align project as well, right? It's like opening up this beautiful space for people to come and just feel warm and cozy and fuzzy
Mm.
away from the cold, and create their own beautiful connection to themselves.
Away from the cold. I love that.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
into the coffee.
Come into the warm coffee, hot cocoa, whatever it is that you want.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
that was
good.
great.
So good. And
Mm.
it's so powerful, right? I mean, just this, we took a few minutes to
Mhm.
do this little exercise. Imagine if we did that every Monday morning, right? It's like we would start the day with such ease and then going out into the traffic to drive to work or getting
Mhm.
into meetings. You're in just such a different space and energy, right? That it's almost like other people then start to notice that about you, right?
Right.
And
Well,
they
yeah,
feel the
you
difference.
lead from it. You lead from that space
Yeah.
instead of the scarcity, fear, panic, extra movement. It's it's like you've picked out which thing to plug your cord into. Do I plug
Mhm.
my cord into the stress just to do I have to be of service immediately, or do I plug into my truth of
Mhm.
who I am, what I'm aligned with,
Yeah.
and that takes intention.
Yeah.
There's always two plugs.
I know, right? You get to choose, right? There's like the two wolves and, the two, yeah, whoever you feed is that's going to grow. So if we can, obviously we're creating this beautiful container to have people join us. But, if someone's out there, and not sure if this is for them, like how would they know? Who is it for? Like what kind of people would benefit from it? And it's the other question I want to ask you is what is the cost of not taking this time for
Hmm.
yourself? So,
Hmm. Well, I mean, as far as who this is for, I mean, first, I of course think everybody, anybody in the world that wakes up on a Monday morning, basically. But you know, you don't
yeah,
have to
it's
be at
like
the top of
oxygen. You need it. We all
no,
need it.
100%. I mean,
Yes.
especially if you're feeling very frazzled in life and that you're always pulled in different directions. If it's almost like if you feel that your life is happening to you
Mhm.
and that you're just reacting to it all the time,
Yeah.
this is especially wonderful for people that just want to get into the driver's seat a little bit more
Yeah.
of their week. And on the other side of that, I would say people that are just enjoy this experience, enjoy intentional living around how they start their weeks, enjoys coming together in community with other people on similar journeys. I think that everybody could benefit from this completely. It's a supportive space.
Yeah.
It's something to just if you're not sure, just try it. Like
Yeah.
if
And this
you
is going to be open to men, women, everybody, right? Yeah.
absolutely. And I would say give it 3 tries before
Mm.
you see if this is like 100% for you because every week has different energy, different kind of discussion that's going on, different themes. So I would say that this is the right way to begin something. How do we begin anything? When you begin something, you sit still, you take a breath. And I'm just as guilty. I could just jump up, feed the cat, jump around, take my kids to school. And then when the days that, so to answer your other question, what is, the
Yeah.
what can happen if you don't do this for yourself? You're probably already living it. It's probably feeling frazzled, disconnected, snapping at my kids, feeling overwhelmed in traffic instead of coming into each moment like, this is not that important. I already did my check in. I know what's important for me this week. It's not this driver. It's not this situation. It's not things on the world news stage that I have no control over. It's my little corner of the world that I do have control over. And it's this one fragment this week moving into whatever future I'm growing towards.
Right.
So I think the side of that is just suffering and anger and separation. I mean, all the darkness that's
Frustration.
like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
builds, even though I'm having some good days. And then you kind of what I notice, one last thing I can share that's so really great is the consistency of coming to these types of circles is the building of resilience. When
Mhm.
when you have this consistent check-in with yourself, to check in how you're doing, how your circle's doing, how it's happening, when the big things happen in the week, you do not crumble. You do not fall apart because you're slowly building like such a solid foundation of self-awareness and feeling connection with a group. So the other side of that is, chaos, really. But
Yeah.
in a nutshell, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. So true. And I think, I would like to take that further a little bit as well, because I think we're all in this world trying to do good, trying to find what is our true passion and share that with the
Mhm.
world. So I think if we took it one step further, the real cost is that if you don't take the time to connect to yourself, take the time to declutter your mind
Yeah.
and have someone help you process that, how are you ever going to get to that point where it's like, okay, I am now calm. I have made peace within myself. And now I can see what my true strengths are. And then I can go out and share that with the world. Right. And so there's no way that I can know what my passion is or share it with the world until I've done that work on myself. Right.
Absolutely. There's so many like deep, like big thought thinkers in the world, Buddhist monks and Thich Nhat Hanh, who talk about like the real way for us to connect with our purpose, our peace and serenity is to take care of ourselves
Mm.
and to find a way to like learn who we are. And from that space, and it happens like for people in different ways. Like sometimes it's a tragedy that wakes us up and says, I need to learn how to have a meditation. Or sometimes it's just like my kids were getting older and a little more self-sufficient, and my body just was like, "Oh, now we can crash," and healing from that.
Yeah.
And I think that, on the point of purpose and being of service in this world, not just to our job, but to ourselves and to our hobbies and as parents. Um, this is where it begins. Let it begin with me. So many programs say, let it begin with me because
Yeah.
and this is not a selfish thing. This is me saying, I have to keep my tools fresh. I have to keep my wisdom sharp. And how do I do that? I got to explore that. This is by actually mostly by getting quiet, by
Go
getting,
within. Yeah. Yeah. Go
yeah.
within. Absolutely. And I love that, what has organically happened in choosing all of the facilitators that I have is that all of us have done some really deep inner work and healed
Oh, yeah.
from some of our own major traumas. And so I think that we are now, because of that work, we are now able to hold space for other people in a way that is just so empowering and encouraging and powerful. So I want to thank you for not just hosting this session for me, but also for all the work that you've done on yourself, for all the healing that you've done, because thanks to that work, you are able to show up and I'm able to tap into your amazingness to share with all of the people that will be part of the Align community. So
Mhm.
thank you. Thank you. I'm really grateful.
Oh,
Really.
thank you. Thank you for all of your work and service. That's likewise.
Yes, yeah. So I don't even know. I think we've said it all. I just want to invite people to check out Align. I will be posting all the links below these videos wherever you see them. And I would love for you to explore and learn more about Rachel. So Rachel, tell us where people can find you. What's the best way to reach you?
I would say I have a website, Rachel Rema Living. It's Rema. RachelRema.com is actually the website, but I'm mostly on socials on Instagram at Rachel Rema Living. Doing most anything that I'm doing, I'm sharing up there. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Beautiful. Awesome. And we'll put all the links as well for you as well so people know how to
Oh,
reach
thanks.
out. Thank you so much for doing this today. Thank you for sharing your wealth of wisdom with all of us. And I'm super excited to attend and share Manifestation Mondays with everyone. Thank
Yes,
you
it's going to be great.
so much.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Awesome.